The WOCA. Ocala.
21 minutes after 10 o'clock. Robin, I have a math equation to tell you about.
Okay.
A math equation. Sunday, this past Sunday, marked the 13th year of doing this show. 13 years, right?
Yes.
We do 5 shows a week, right?
Yes,
we do the show for 5 hours a day.
Exactly.
Right? We have interviews with people all during those 5 hours, and none of the interviews, usually, there's an exception to this here and there, but most of the time, they're either 10 minutes long, 25 minutes long, something of that nature, right?
That's right.
So conservatively, we've done at least 4 interviews per day with authors, right? Because it's not just authors, we have politicians, but we have a lot of authors, right?
Yes,
which means we have to read, or at least be familiar with, a lot of books.
Exactly. All types.
And it is amazing how many books have passed our way. So I did the math, 13 years times 5 times 5 times whatever. I came up with 20,000.
Wow.
20,000. So 20,000 authors in the past 13 years.
Gosh,
right?
that is so
So
amazing.
which would be your favorite ones? How do you even begin to pick, you know? And what's amazing is sometimes in this day and age, we just spoke to these 2 guys who made a name for themselves in England with this very popular YouTube channel with 8 million viewers. And we have had authors that have self-published, and then, of course, were picked up usually by, like, a major publisher or something, right? So who are the best? What are the best books? What are the top books? We have somebody on the phone to help us with this. Sara Nelson. I think Sarah's been with us before. She is the editorial director at Amazon, which, let's see, I can't even give you a number, but I know a lot of the books that we review and we read come through my Kindle. Ever since Kindle was invented, I've been using that for enough of them that I'm very familiar with it. So the best books of 2015, the hottest books for gift giving, is the topic. Sara Nelson, good morning. Thank you for being on the air with us.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Yeah, we do a lot of interviews with authors.
Yes.
Right.
It's unbelievable. So I wouldn't even begin. I'm curious how many of the books you're going to tell us about have been on the show.
Oh yeah, I don't know. I mean, what you say, 25,000 authors? Is that what you said? 25,000 authors?
Yeah, not this year. In the past 13 years. In 13 years.
20,000.
Yeah.
Right.
20,000.
Right. Well, you know, I think we are up there with you.
I'm sure. Oh, Amazon. Forget it. How many books are on Amazon?
Yeah.
Oh no, on Amazon, I mean millions.
It's got to be.
And in terms of books that my team has read, I don't know. We read an awful lot of books, and well, I've only been doing it here for 4 years. So, but I mean, I know what you mean. You read and read and read. And what's great is when something sticks in your mind, and I always say to people, wow, that was a lot of books ago.
Yes.
Something from 5 or 6 years ago or something.
And if I were thinking about giving one of the books that we've talked about as a gift, I kind of have to know the recipient, because every book isn't for every reader.
Right, absolutely. No, I mean, absolutely. And you need to know... I have a little checklist in my mind of just when I meet people socially and they say, oh, what should I read? And I say, well, what's the last thing you read? And what's the last thing you liked? And, people have, sometimes they can tell you what the last thing they read was. They usually can't tell you what they like because they don't, I mean, I know what you mean. It's like, you only know that you like it when you like it. You can't sort of parse it.
And it's the book that you wish would never end, too, sometimes. Right. Yeah, that's the one that becomes the favorite, yeah.
Right. It's sad when it ends. You kind of walk away feeling a little lost for a few days. Yeah.
When you use the term books, do you mean just print books, or is there audio and print books included in your list?
When we talk about books, I mean, my title is Editorial Director, Books and Kindle. So we are talking about books, long form storytelling, for want of a better word, and the format is really not important.
So as long as it's words,
right.
a whole bunch of words
on a page or words on it, yeah.
All right, so we're anxious to hear the titles. What do we have on the list?
Well, our number 1 book of the year is called Fates and Furies. It's a novel by Lauren Groff. And it's a novel about what goes on in a marriage between two people who've known each other and been relatively happy together for a long period of time, 20-some years. And so, but even so, there are tremendous secrets between them. And it's not a he said, she said like a sitcom. It's a very complex and evolving story of these two very different people in this marriage.
Okay, and is this fiction?
Yes, fiction. It's a novel.
Okay. See, I don't think we spoke to that one. Okay.
And do you do? Go ahead. Go ahead.
Well, I was going to say our number 2 book and our number 1 book in nonfiction is Ta-Nehisi Coates's "The World Between the World and Me," which is an extension of an article that he wrote for the Atlantic magazine. He's an African American journalist, and he wrote this piece about, in the voice of a man talking to his son, he has a teenage son, about what it is to grow up black in America. And it came out, the article came out, and then the book came out soon thereafter, right after the events in Ferguson.
Oh, okay.
So it's very of the moment.
I think, you know what, we didn't talk to him, but we talked about, I think we talked about that book.
Yeah.
I think to me we brought that up, yeah. Okay.
Right.
All right.
So, and then, for kids' books, I mean, kids books are very popular, and young adult, in particular, is a crossover, as they say. They're intended for young adults, but teenagers, but the tremendous crossover, as we saw with the Harry Potter books, as we saw with Stephanie Meyer's books, the Twilight trilogy, and the one that we're really crazy about this year is called Ember in the Ashes. It's also, a little post-apocalyptic, dystopian future, political intrigue, family loss, love, all the main themes. Our resident young adult expert thinks that book is going to be the next franchise. It's going to be the next Insurgent.
Oh, really? Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I can hear the cars outside. You must have your window open.
Yeah, I love that.
No, I don't know what. No, okay.
Okay, and so that was the children's book. Any
No, young adult.
Okay, young adult.
Yeah.
Oh, that was a young adult book.
Yes.
Okay, and any books that are like biographical, autobiographical that are hot?
Well, there are a lot of memoirs. We had something like 22 memoirs on our list this year. So there's a wonderful book called H is for Hawk, which is a memoir by a woman who is a falconer, English woman, British woman, and she writes about her father dies unexpectedly, and she is so grief-struck that she decides to sort of try to master her grief by training a hawk.
Oh, wow.
It's very interesting about, how it's sort of using the physical, natural world as a way to, sort of master your inner emotional world.
Wow. Gosh, we haven't had any of these authors on, I don't think. Wow.
No.
It's amazing that we have so many, and we haven't...
There's so many books, right?
Yeah.
Do you also categorize books for children?
Yes, we have a number of books that we like for children. One is called The Thing About Jellyfish, which is actually up for a National Book Award tomorrow, which is a middle grade book that we were really crazy about. They're always the Diary of the Wimpy Kid books are very popular and very good, particularly Jeff Kinney is the author, particularly for reluctant readers.
Oh, I love that.
Sarah, the one name that comes up at the end of every interview is, we always say, where can we get the book? And what they always say? Amazon.
That's the first one they mentioned.
I'm telling you, every author loves Amazon, and so do the buyers. So that's the website, Amazon.com. That's easy.
Right. Amazon.com/books will take you directly to our stuff.
Okay, Sarah, thank you for being on the air with us. Some good ideas for some books, and we haven't interviewed any of these people, so we'll have to get to work with our publicists.
I just got work for you to do.
Yeah,
that's right.
Thank you, Sarah.
Radio
okay, take care.
Police say 16 people have been arrested in an extremist crackdown in the Paris area since Sunday.
French media reports say that Europe's most wanted man, Salah Abdeslam, crossed from France into Belgium early Saturday with 2 accomplices. They were arrested later in Belgium. Abdeslam got away. One of them is believed to be the bomb maker for the 3 teams of terrorists